am so excited to have Pele and Katie in the house. They're going to introduce themselves a little bit and tell you about where they're from and their history with food.
Hey guys, I'm Katie. I'm from the island of Samoa. It's about a 6-hour flight from Honolulu in the South Pacific.
Hi, my name is Pele, and I'm also from Samoa, Western Samoa mostly.
I remember growing up, we didn't have that much meat in our diets. We ate taro, we ate bananas, we ate breadfruit. We ate a lot of cabbage, carrots, tomatoes. We grew our own produce, so every once in a while we would have some sort of meat, and that was a special occasion, but it was very rare. So how about you, Pele?
Just like what Kate was saying, we did farm our own produce and we grew our own cattle as well, and it was very rare for us to have meat. It's usually only on special occasions.
Either a funeral or a birthday.
Weddings as well, those were special occasions. Honoring somebody within the church, like a deacon or a priest, or it was during certain times like that. But now
every day is a special occasion with the amount of meats that we have
on the
table. The lifestyle of it being a special event, and then food taking full control of this special event, and now it's gone to like the extreme where every day is a special occasion now because we have like an abundance of access to food. But reversing the cycle, where if we instill in our minds that this cycle, the reason why it was special was because of the work that everybody put into doing it. It was about being together as a family, rather than just what we have in front of us, and rather than what the food is, or how much meat, or or fat, or whatever product we have. It was the main concept of it was the family, getting together, the men doing the wood cutting outside and preparing the umu, which is our oven, our outdoor oven. The women, just talk story while they're prepping food. It's just the coming together. That's why it's special. Growing up in Samoa as a child, I would remember our daily chores were to get up first thing before you go to school, before you could even brush your teeth, get out and pick up the trash outside, make sure that there's hot water for tea, for your elders and for your breakfast. We used to walk to school. I used to walk 4 to 5 miles every day to school, and catching the bus was rare, but we did that. And I remember lunchbox. My lunchbox would be taro or breadfruit from the night before, a piece of bread, no butter, but
I would usually get five tala or $5, but that's like what, $2.50 American. And we only had this small canteen. We didn't have a cafeteria in Western Samoa, and usually they would sell like apples and a lot of fruits. I didn't remember like a burger or like a chicken with gravy on it. Like it was more of a healthier diet back then, until I moved to American Samoa, and I was introduced to candy and these buffet restaurant stands that had like curry and orange chicken and stuff like that when I had moved there. And I started to see that I was putting on weight, but I didn't understand why, so I wasn't educated on why I was putting on weight and what the foods I was eating.
I moved to American Samoa as well, and yes, the diet and the access to food was a lot greater. Everything there was just cheap, but there's so many options to choose from. What kind of restaurant to eat at? That was the biggest question every day for most people my age back then, was what do you want for dinner, or where do you want to go eat? It was always about food. I worked at the mall in American Samoa, and my office is located there, where it opened up the first one of the biggest fast food chains in Samoa, in American Samoa, which is called Carl's Jr. And yes, every day for 6 years I worked there. You know, that was the cheapest, easiest option for lunch. In terms of health, there is still, you know, similar diseases that are taking over our people. Diabetes is one of them. In American Samoa, it's ranked in the top 3 of the world, being the
number one.
Yeah, it is number 1, but I'm trying to be nice and say in the top 3.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, it's we are 95% of the people are obese. My mom died from diabetes. She lost her leg. I remember seeing her, and I wonder why she was sick, you know. But just like she had one leg for the last 5 years of her life, and it was because of diabetes.
I lost my grandmother when I was in 7th grade, and it was through diabetes as well. I also lost my other grandmother on my dad's mom through ulcers, and I have a lot of history of family members, especially on my mom's side, that have diabetes, that have high blood pressure, as well as my dad. The most famous disease is gout, and you know, you're usually supposed to watch your diet.
I feel, well, personally, we've accepted it because it's normal now. I mean, having a diabetic relative is normal, and you know, and it's really sad that because here we are going through the same patterns, and I feel like it's expected of us to develop into these, you know, because it's hereditary. But I've heard of cases where it's reversed, you know, where people can get out of being, you know, diabetic, or can get out of being, you know, having high blood pressure and all that. So it's a new era for us. I mean, just in this small group, you know, just the education part, like Pele expressed, it's we don't have to follow that step of our lifestyle and our culture.
Kate had introduced me to the plant-based diet. I started, you know, I was really interested, and I was really, you know, I kept telling myself I need to lose weight, I need to start being healthier, and I can't keep saying, oh, this is just for today, I'm just gonna have a cupcake. And I started researching, I started Googling, you know, what is a vegan, what do we eat, you know. I also started asking Joey, like, where are these what places can I go and buy stuff. It was very difficult in the beginning because of the taste as well, and it was very challenging too, but it was fun at the same time because it made me start reading labels. I was very surprised to find whole grain and whole wheat chips on the aisles that had milk in it, and I was like, these are chips. Like, I understand chocolate, but chips, come on. And being on this journey, I will be honest, I have slipped. But I have never felt bitter. Like, I was just sharing with Kate, like, I did slip this Thanksgiving. I had turkey, and I had a cupcake, but I was so bothered that I had such really bad heartburn. Yes, I have not had heartburn since I've been on the plant-based diet. I wasn't going to the bathroom a lot. I had really severe stomach pains, and the hardest part is going back into the diet. That's a challenge for me right now. I know that, like, I feel guilty. I know, like, this is not what I want, but I don't know if I should, you know, make a few changes to, you know, my diet, like my, you know, being vegan and not, because I'm still unsure, like, if I could do this, like, throughout my entire life. But it's something that I do want to try, and, you know, if it can save myself from, you know, getting diabetes from my mom's side, getting gout from my dad's side, hopefully I could be an influence or make an impact into my family, and that's why me and Kate are here.
I came here from Samoa to attend the University of Hawaii, and I started shopping, and of course there's just an abundance. It's almost overwhelming at the stores here. 4 months ago, Joey, you sent me this link about veganism because I've asked you about things that you're doing, because I noticed the changes. And what started off as a weight loss program for me, 2 days into just reading the resources that Joey has given me, made me see that it was, vegan was a lifestyle, bigger than me. And the greatest thing that I saw from the research was, why do we humans feel superior to other living beings? And I'm also taking a business ethics class, and we got to see Food Inc. and it was a greater impact of what we were consuming, the demand that we're creating for all the meat products and the byproducts, and it's killing our resources on this planet, and that's all we have. So it's about the common goods, and knowing the importance of your choices. At the same time, like Pele, it is a challenge to, because of our families and what is expected of us, and socially accepted by our friends, and it puts a lot of pressure on me that I sometimes don't even want to use the word vegan around people. I would use the word plant-based more, and they're like, "Oh, you're on a diet." I say, "No, I'm not on a diet. It's just a plant-based lifestyle." We've been doing it all these years. We ate taro. That was our staple. Bananas. Everything came from plants. I am going back in a few more weeks. I'm graduating and going back home. And I've also told my family back home, I'm coming home, but I am going to be on this lifestyle where I'll just be eating plants, and you guys got to help me. And I do not, because it's a special occasion that I'm graduating, so of course you're going to expect, Bella's laughing because it's going to be a pig and abundance of food. And I told my family, I'm not going to do that this year. There's all these diseases in my family, and I feel like because I don't have them yet, I will change. And I feel like I'm pretty confident when I go back to, to do it and be the example. Basically show them too, because when I came here, I was 247 pounds, and now I'm going to go back smaller than I ever was, 6-7 years ago. So for them to see that change, they got to be curious on what, and want what I have done, and it's just as simple as just eating the right food.
Just had, like Kate mentioned, they all thought I was crazy. It did start off as just, a weight loss. I almost hit the 200 mark, and I really became emotional. I was 198 when I first started coming to Zumba, and then now I weigh 172.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I lost most of the weight being on this diet, and I've noticed a lot of change in energy-wise, as well as just my body. Like, I'm always up early. I'm not going to bed tired, or waking up tired. I feel so much energy, and it's very hard living with two boys because they eat a lot, and in their minds, we can't live without meat. Like, meat is a good source of protein. Like, we lift, we play rugby, we play basketball, we have to have our meat. And I told them, that's fine. You guys could go ahead. I'll cook whatever you guys want me to cook for you, but, I have my own diet. And that's fine. And then I think after 2 weeks into it, I noticed them starting to pick from my food. And at first I was annoyed because, eating healthy is a bit expensive, but knowing that they would like to try, these healthier foods was really something I was happy about. And, telling my mom who's coming up, like, I posted my one of the foods that I made with tofu, and she was like, I hope you're not gonna feed me that when I come up. And I told her mom, like, it's not disgusting. And she was like, I was like, no, I've tasted tofu. I was like, no, I always tell people, even my cousins, even my friends are like, ew, that's disgusting. I'm like, no, you just have to know how to cook it. You just have to have the patience to know how to cook your food. And, I always tell them, here, try it. And they're like, oh, what is this? I was like, it's tofu. Like, no, it's not. I was like, no, it's tofu. And they're like, oh my gosh, this tastes like chicken. I was like, yes. And so my mom is excited. She's like, okay, you know what? I really need this because my mom has high blood pressure, and she is borderline cholesterol, and my dad has high blood pressure as well. But I've heard that he's been exercising a lot, and my mom, she's very in denial sometimes, and I don't blame her for that, and I love her, and I don't want her to go. So um it's just really hard because my grandma was the one who raised me, her mom. My mom didn't know how to take care of a newborn or whatever, so it was really hard when she left because of diabetes. And it's something I don't want to happen to my mom. And she always tells me, like, don't worry till I'm going to be on this diet, I'm going to go exercising. This is the time for me where I really want her to go back changed. And it's, being, just the fact that she's willing to try when she comes up, I hope that, I can impact her enough to make it not just a lifestyle, but, try to adjust her diet and be an impact to my dad as well as my brothers, because my youngest brother, he just turned 14, and he was already borderline high blood pressure. I'm very thankful to be introduced and be a part of this small group, especially with Kate and you, Joey, as well.
Like you said, we were humans, and yes, there has just recent slip-ups, but it was a good thing that it happened. It makes us realize that there's not a standard that we need to fulfill to maintain it, but bouncing back and knowing how important it is, that's when we knew we were guilty, because we knew that it was something important to us to live this lifestyle, and then I think that was the main reason why we felt bad. But we have the education, we have the knowledge, and we have the support group here now, and we can change things, even if it's just, yes, like you said, one meal a day with the family, or one day a week, but these changes, can lead up to bigger changes and make a greater impact, health-wise, and incorporating exercises, and like Pele's family, yes, that's all we have, and it's heartbreaking to know what we know now and not be able to help our families with the knowledge we have now. So yes, we will incorporate the changes step by step, because yes, it is extreme, and people have called us crazy, and even our own relatives, our own families have called us crazy, but maybe if they got to know what we know now, through us and through our experience and our physical changes, as much as our emotional changes and our mental state of mind now, if we could share that, one relative at a time, one meal at a time, or it would be the start of something good. One thing that I know is important: if you're curious about veganism, give it a try. Incorporate little changes in your lifestyle with it, and get the information in the support group that you need to carry it out. Once you get all that, it'll be easier for you to not get called crazy in your own household. Apparently, it's something that we're both passionate about in incorporating in our own families because of these drastic measures of their health. And that's we have one life to live, one body to take care of, and one family. So in order to tie all this into our culture and whatever culture you're from, it comes down to the choices you make and the food you eat.
One of the most important things is your support group, because if you don't have a support group or support from at least one person, it's very hard for you to take on new challenges, especially with your diet. I continue to push myself, even though Kate is not physically there in my household. I'm always looking at her posts. I'm also looking at Joy's posts that she posts with their foods, being at the gym, come down to Zumba, and then my household, although that they're not vegans or trying the plant-based diet yet, they do encourage me because they see the change. And just like Kate was saying, it doesn't hurt to try. You will notice the changes. And those who are vegan or are curious and just putting their feet in, just like Kate was saying, don't let anyone put you down. If you slip, like I did, like Kate did, get back up. It's just awesome to have that support group with you. So far, so far.